Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., Ryan Howard, Frank Robinson, Rickey Henderson. What's the similarity between all these people? They're all African American baseball players. Have you ever stopped to think about who the first African American baseball player was? Jackie Robinson was the first. He had a tremendous impact on the game of baseball. My name is Cody Beers, and I'm here to tell you about Jackie Robinson, his life, and the hardships he had to endure to make it to the major leagues. You can rely on me for this information because I'm a big baseball fan, and I've done extensive research on Jackie Robinson's life. I'm going to be talking about today the background of Jackie Robinson, his life, the racial barrier he broke to make it into the major leagues, his tremendous playing career, and the various awards he's received. Jackie was born Jackie Roosevelt Robinson, January 31st, 1919, in Cairo, Georgia. He was one of 5 children. You can find this information at JackieRobinson.com, his official website. Jackie went to college at UCLA. He was varsity on 4 different teams: baseball, basketball, football, and track. He was varsity on all 4. In 1942, Jackie was drafted into the Army. He was a 2nd lieutenant. And in 1944, 2 years later, he was given an honorable discharge. You can find this information from biography.com. So now that we know a little bit about Jackie's background, let's focus on his breaking of the racial barrier in the major leagues. April 15th, 1947, Jackie Robinson was called up 6 days before this to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers, a major league team. He went through the Negro Leagues and into the MLB, Major League Baseball. His manager was Branch Dickey. He drafted Robinson and had seen him come up through the minors, and at this point brought him up to the majors. He was extremely supportive of Jackie and certainly made sure he could endure all the hardships. So now that we know a little bit about his breaking of the color barrier, let's take a look at how his playing career went. In the majors, Jackie came up playing first base. There was already somebody at second who was established, so he played at first base. Later on, he got to play second base, shortstop, third base, and towards the end of his career, he even played some outfield. He threw and batted right-handed, both ways, and his entire career, he wore number 42. Jackie played 10 seasons, from 1947 to 1956. He was 28 years old when he was brought up, and he retired at 37. All his seasons were with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Jackie's stats are quite remarkable. He played 1,382 games. He had 4,877 at-bats. He bat .311 for his career. He had over 1,500 hits, 947 runs, 734 RBIs, and 197 stolen bases. All very good. You can find this information at baseballreference.com. So Jackie was clearly a good player, a tremendous talent, a great athlete. Let's look at his awards, though. And these are not just awards he received because of what he did on the field, but also because of what he did off the field. In 1947, his first year, Jackie was given the Rookie of the Year award. At this point, the National League and the American League were not quite separated, so he got the Rookie of the Year for the entire league. In 1948, Jackie hit for the cycle. A cycle is getting a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in the same game. It's quite remarkable. In 1949, Jackie was elected to his first All-Star game, and for the next 6 seasons, he was in the All-Star game, all the way till 1954. In 1949, Jackie won the NL MVP. That's the National League MVP. And in 1955, Jackie Robinson and the Brooklyn Dodgers won the World Series. In 1962, Jackie's first year of eligibility for the Hall of Fame, he was inducted in, first ballot. A few years later, the Major League Baseball retired his number throughout the entire league, not just the team he played on. This is rare. And a few years later, he was elected to the Major League Baseball All-Century team. After his death, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the Congressional Gold Medal. You can find this information at Jackie's official website, JackieRobinson.com. So in conclusion, Jackie Robinson was the first African American to play in the major leagues. He went through tremendous hardships, born in Georgia, went through the Negro Leagues, and then eventually to the minor leagues, and he was brought up in 1947 to play for the major league team, the Brooklyn Dodgers. He had a tremendous playing career with great statistics, which awards show how well he did. Because of Jackie Robinson, baseball and America as we know it benefited. Tomorrow is April 15th, the day that Jackie Robinson first played in the major leagues. For the last few years, for many years actually, Major League Baseball has made this day a celebration of Robinson's life and his career, and every person, every player, and every coach and manager for Major League Baseball will wear number 42. They will have ceremonies at each game throughout the entire league. This goes to show how the impact Jackie Robinson had both on baseball and on America. Does anyone have any questions?
What year did he die?
Jackie died in 1972, I believe. He was 53 years old when he died.
How did the other players, when he first started, how did they handle, having the first black guy?
When Jackie first started, there was a lot of criticism. There were players on other teams that would play extremely rough. There was actually somebody from the Phillies that gashed his arm open.
Wow.
Players on his team were just as rough when he started, but his manager, Branch Rickey, was always extremely supportive, and he told him, you have to turn the other cheek, you turn the other cheek, and eventually it paid off.
Amazing story.
Where was he raised?
Jackie was born in Cairo, Georgia, but he actually moved a few years later with his mother and his other siblings to Pasadena, California, after his father had left.
Did he have a family other than?
Yeah, he had a wife, and she still lives to this day.
Any kids?
Yes, he has kids.
So this day, even now, they wear this 42.
42,
every
April 15th.
year?
Every year, April 15th, they all wear 42.
Hmm.
That's the impact he had.
Wow. Amazing.